There's a moment most guys never forget. You had her. You could feel it. The way she looked at you. The way she laughed a little too easily. The way the conversation just flowed. Something was alive between you two, and you knew it. And then, it was gone. Not with a fight, not with a dramatic ending. It just quietly disappeared, like a signal that drifted out of range. And she moved on, and you were left standing there trying to reverse engineer what went wrong, replaying conversations, rereading texts, wondering what you could have said differently. Here's what nobody tells you. You probably didn't say the wrong thing. You did the wrong things. Small things, subtle things, things that felt completely natural in the moment, things that even felt like the right move, but were slowly bleeding the attraction dry without you even realizing it. That's what makes these mistakes so brutal. They don't announce themselves, they just quietly do their damage. And by the time you notice the shift in her energy, it's already done. So I'm going to show you exactly what those mistakes are, 7 of them. And I want you to watch this with honesty, because I promise you, you're going to see yourself in at least a few of these. Most guys do. And that recognition, that's where the real change begins. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1. You made her your entire world. Picture this. You meet her. There's real chemistry, and something shifts inside you. Your mind starts orbiting around her. You check your phone more. You clear your calendar easier. The things that used to drive you start feeling less urgent. She becomes the most important variable in your life, almost overnight. And it feels like passion. It feels like you're finally someone who cares deeply. But here's what's actually happening. You've handed her a weight she never asked to carry. The weight of being your primary source of happiness. And women feel that, not through words, through energy, through the slight desperation underneath every message, through the way your mood visibly tracks hers. Attraction doesn't grow in that kind of pressure. It suffocates under it. A man who has genuine direction in his life, who has things he's building, people he loves, a purpose pulling him forward, that man is interesting. That man has gravity. She's not the center of his universe. She's someone he's genuinely choosing from a full life, not an empty one. The reframe? Let her add to your life. Don't let her become your life. That distinction is everything. Mistake number 2. You over-explained yourself. She asked why you couldn't make it Thursday. Simple question. But instead of a clean answer, you wrote a paragraph. Your work situation, the stress you've been under, how you definitely reschedule, how you didn't want her to think you weren't interested. Read that back. Look at what you actually communicated. You weren't giving her information. You were asking for her approval. You were quietly saying, please don't think less of me. And the moment a man starts seeking that kind of reassurance, the dynamic shifts. She feels the imbalance. Maybe she can't name it, but she feels it. Confident men are economical with their words because they trust their word is enough. Thursday doesn't work, let's do Saturday, is a complete answer. It's direct, it's calm, it doesn't beg for validation. There's a quiet authority in brevity. Learn to live there. The reframe? Say what you mean, say it once, then let it stand. You don't owe anyone a defense of your schedule. Mistake number 3. You killed the mystery too fast. 3 conversations in, and she already knows your full backstory. The relationship that hurt you, the job you're not sure about, the childhood stuff you're still working through. You told her everything because it felt like intimacy, because vulnerability felt like the right move. And in the right time and place, it is. But timing matters more than most men understand. Attraction lives in the space between what she knows and what she wants to know. That gap, that beautiful, unresolved curiosity, is what makes her think about you between conversations, what makes her want to reach out, what keeps her emotionally engaged. When you fill that gap in the first week, you collapse the tension. The story is finished before it really started, and the mind moves on to something unresolved. This isn't about being fake. It's about having enough depth that it can't all pour out at once.
A man with a real interior life doesn't need to display it immediately. He lets it surface naturally, slowly, over time. The reframe? Be genuinely interesting by being genuinely layered. Let her discover you. Don't present yourself like a resume.
Mistake number 4. You are always available. She texts at midnight. You respond before the minute is up. She wants to see you with 2 days' notice. You're there. She calls mid-hangout with your friends. You step outside and talk for an hour. You tell yourself this is reliability. This is showing her she matters. But what it actually signals is that nothing in your life competes with her attention. And that's not romantic, it's unsettling. Because a man worth choosing is a man whose time has real value. A man who sometimes has to get back to you later because things are genuinely happening in his world. Availability without scarcity isn't attractive, it's just expected. And what's always expected is never truly desired. The reframe: be present when you're present, but have a life that demands your presence elsewhere too. Real lives have friction. Frictionless availability tells its own story, and it's not the one you want to tell. Mistake number 5. You chased after she pulled back. She goes quiet. A day passes, then 2. The energy that was warm starts to feel distant, and something tightens in your chest, so you reach out. Hey, everything okay? No response. So an hour later, just checking in. Next morning, haven't heard from you. Hope you're good. I need you to understand what those 3 messages communicate. Not care, not maturity, panic. They tell her that her silence alone was enough to destabilize you, that your inner peace is contingent on her response, and that kind of emotional fragility, even when it comes from a genuine place, is one of the most powerful repellents there is. Here's the truth about women pulling back. Sometimes it's about you. Sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with you. But your response in that moment, that's always about you. And chasing confirms every doubt she might have had. The grounded man feels the pull to chase and chooses not to. He returns to his own life. He trusts himself. He gives her space to come back or not, and he remains whole either way. That steadiness, that's the thing she'll actually come back for. The reframe: when she pulls back, match it. Not as a game, as self-respect. Your peace is not up for negotiation. Mistake number 6. You agreed with everything she said. And listen, pay attention here because this is the one most guys completely miss. She says something you genuinely don't agree with. Maybe it's her take on something she values, a lifestyle choice, a belief. And instead of engaging honestly, you nod. You say, totally. You move past it to keep things smooth. You do it the next time too, and the time after that. She might not consciously clock it, but something registers, a subtle sense that she can't quite find you, that whenever she pushes, you give way, that your personality reshapes itself around whoever's in the room. That's not agreeable, that's invisible, and you cannot build attraction with someone who has no distinct shape. Calm, confident disagreement is one of the most underrated attractive qualities a man can have. Not argument, not defensiveness, just, actually, I see it differently, and here's why. Said without apology, without aggression, with the quiet certainty of a man who knows his own mind. She doesn't need you to agree with her. She needs to know that when you do agree, you actually mean it. The reframe: have a perspective, hold it calmly, let her see the edges of who you are. That contrast is where real chemistry lives. Mistake number 7. You made the outcome too important. This one runs deeper than behavior. This is about the energy underneath everything. You wanted it to work, really wanted it, and so every text carried that weight. Every silence felt like evidence of something going wrong. Every date had the quiet pressure of an audition behind it, because somewhere inside, you'd already decided that her choosing you was tied to something much bigger than just her. Your confidence, your proof of worth, your answer to the question you've been quietly asking yourself for years. And she felt all of it, not the words, the weight. This is what neediness actually is. It's not clinginess or desperation on the surface. It's a deeper belief that this outcome, this woman,
This moment is the thing standing between you and feeling okay about yourself. And when a man operates from that place, no matter how well he performs, she senses the void underneath the performance. The man who is genuinely attractive is the man who shows up fully and then releases the outcome. He cares, but his sense of self doesn't hinge on her response. He's not auditioning. He's not managing her perception. He's simply, powerfully, undeniably himself. Those are entirely different missions, and the second one will change how you carry yourself in every room you walk into. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Every single mistake on this list traces back to the same wound, seeking her validation more than you trust your own value. Trying to manage her feelings about you instead of simply living as the fullest version of yourself and letting that be enough. And I'm telling you right now, the moment you stop needing the outcome, you become the outcome. The moment you stop trying to be chosen, you become the kind of man worth choosing. That's not a line, that's the whole game. You are not here to perform. You are not here to impress. You are here to connect, genuinely, calmly, from a place of real strength. And that kind of presence, it doesn't chase, it doesn't explain, it doesn't collapse under silence. It simply stands, and the right ones always notice. If this hit for you, go watch my video on why trying less actually attracts more. Tell me which one of these 7 you've been most guilty of. Be real with it. That honesty is the first step. Stay grounded. I'll see you in the next one.